Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of West Ham Fan TV's Post-Match Pint, the only West Ham United post-match fallout show on the internet. We've just come back virtually from White Hart Lane, where it was Tottenham 3, West Ham 3. Scott, take me through the fucking starting lineup.
You fucking do it, Scott.
Fabianski in goal. Soufal, right wing back. Masuaku, left wing back. Balbuena, Ogbonna, and Creswell's the three centre halves. Souček and Rice, two centre mids. Fornals left, Bowen right, Antonio up top.
Right. Before we get into it, I have to say this. I'm not allowed to say anything negative. When I prayed to the West Ham gods, that was the deal I made. I said, if we do this, I will not say anything negative afterwards. So I'm out anything negative. I can't say it. Positives all round for me.
Fucking GSP out.
So does that allow me to be negative then, Dan? Because we can't sugarcoat over Balbuena's defending for that.
You guys, listen, you guys have free reign. I made that deal with the West Ham gods. You guys,
right, Scott, leave him alone. No. We're here to talk about a game, and we have to talk about the because start of the game. I mean, fucking hell, it couldn't have gone any worse. Could it? Well, saying that, the first 16 seconds we actually had a chance. Souček had an half chance, and literally 30 seconds later we're 1-0 down. But yeah, the defending from Balbuena, you don't show. You learn it from a kid. You never show him on the inside, and especially against Son. We was praising him on Friday night how good he is, and if we allow him to do that, he's going to punish us. And fucking hell, did he? And that's it. That's just it was such a schoolboy error, you know.
Do you know what the most disappointing thing for me was, Scott?
Yeah,
before you go on, it was a carbon copy of last year's one.
Yeah, yeah, and it was when you look back at that goal, you know, in the friendly against Bournemouth, Diop done exactly the same thing for their first goal. It's it's a terrible mistake start. You know, he was probably caught a bit cold and all that, but that has got to be the worst possible start ever. And I'm sitting there thinking, this is going to get even worse, isn't it?
Mate, I was devastated. Like, to sit here, to come on, and to know we've still got to sit for a lot of the rest of the game. It was painful. Like,
the last thing that Moisey would have said to him before they gone out is, "Don't concede an early goal." You know, and I don't know what's more buzzing, me or my phone. It ain't stopped. And as I said to you before we went on now, all my Tottenham mates who would give it to me, all the message I've sent back, I'm only seeing one tick at the moment. I ain't seeing two ticks, so their phones have gone off.
My missus shouted down literally 10 minutes before we come on here. Turn your bloody phone off because it just hasn't stopped. The ringtones going and going. It's been it's great though. It is great. You love that when that happens. Let's be honest. It's
Anyway, let's get through the Tottenham goals so we can get on to our
right after that first one. They didn't stop, did they? They just kept on coming. I thought,
and to be fair, I mean, one thing I do want to say about Harry Kane is that I've watched the Tottenham games this season, the ones that have been on telly, and the way he drops off now, he's one of the best passers in the world. I mean, you see him do it against Southampton. You see him do it against United. I mean, that ball to Son was world class. And that might be a new position for him as he gets a little bit older, maybe dropping, a bit like what Rooney done at the end of the season now. But Harry Kane's still young. You know, he's still got time on his side. But it was a great ball. And look, we said on Friday night, you give these players space. It was all the build-up was all the Gareth Bale show, wasn't it? It was all about Gareth Bale, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
But Harry Kane, for me, stole the show, especially in the first 15 minutes. And his goal, I mean, little nutmeg on Declan Rice, edge of the box, and then nutmeg Ogbonna as well, through Ogbonna's legs. And Fabianski was just left standing.
Yeah. So there was nothing Fabianski could do. It was another good goal. And like we said, you give them players chances, mate. They put them away, and it just showed because even after the first goal, we sort of still had we still tried to attack, still tried to get at them, and it was like 2 shots, 2 goals. It was ridiculous. And then you're sitting there like you can into that, not even 10 minutes on the clock, 2-0 down, and thinking they just stuck 6 past United. You know, what's it going to be next?
Yeah, I was thinking exactly the same thing.
Yeah. That's when you messaged me, wasn't it, Ryan? I'm like, yeah, can I go into hiding now?
Yeah.
I would have loved to going on because that's how I'm doing a Spurs podcast tomorrow to review the game, and I was dreading it. I was absolutely dreading it. But I was saying to Nicky at the time, it was like that early goal just knocked the wind out of us completely, and mentally, like we seemed to just be out of it. Nothing we was doing was really coming off, and it was just. Yeah, it was tough. I think that had a big effect though, the early goal, and it looked to go on to be a long night for us, which it was.
I think the Tottenham. Look, listen, I can't. I've been calling their play. They've got a world class attack, Tottenham. There's no denying it. Kane is world class. Son is world class. He's up there with like the Manes and the Salahs for me. Like, and I don't think he gets enough credit. He's absolutely fucking super. That second ball from that left back that they've got was a class for the header. And to be fair, the thing that they done wrong is they took their foot off the gas. They stopped attacking us because honestly, it was like watching Bambi on ice at times with watching it.
To be fair, I mean, the third goal as well was a great ball in and a great header as well. As soon as it left him, he already was celebrating before it hit the back of the net because he knew it was going in. But honestly, I know this sounds crazy, but after that, I don't think we played bad. I don't think we played bad. I think Tottenham were just that good in the first 15 minutes. They just took it and everything was going right for them.
It took us 20, 25 minutes to get to grips with the way their front three was playing. The fact that Kane was dropping deep. If you watch that opening 20 minutes again, you see Kane dropping deep. You've got Rice and Souček in the middle. They can't pick him up. Ogbonna can't come out of that hole to get him because then it leaves the gaps in behind. Creswell was absolutely nowhere at times. Balbuena was just at a stinker that first 20, 25 minutes. And that's what it was. It was Kane's movement, which no one knew who to mark him because he was dropping deep. No one expected him to do it, but they sort of done their own work to make that gap in between our midfield and our defence.
I liked what Nicky said on the watch along that we folded like a packet of crisp.
But I think the stats at one point were like we had 5 shots, and they had 3 all on target, all winning. We didn't
really test the keeper often enough, though, and I think that's it. Like we was getting, and we've seen it quite often. We was getting into the right areas and the right spaces, but it was just like it weren't put off as bad choices or bad balls in.
I thought the midfield was bad. I thought Souček had his worst game for us ever. Rice was a little bit out of his depth. He looked like back to the Rice that was playing with like no ball and had to do running, and he was trying to cover defensively, and nothing was seemed to be going right with him. The thing is with West Ham is we have got talent there. We've got a little bit of talent, and it just wasn't. Nothing we tried sort of seemed to be dropping to us. Nothing seemed to, even like the first half, you had that Soufal shot, and fucking Kane was at the back blocking it. He'd run all the way back, and you thought to yourself, this is just not going to be our day. They took their foot off the gas after their first 3 goals. They didn't seem to want to take it to us, and they should have gone for the jugular because, like, we was just at 6s and 7s. But you know what Mourinho's like? He likes to sort of, close it up at the back and see it out like that. And after that, we started to play a little bit more. Once we banged on the door a lot. But there just didn't seem to be anything. And I'm going to fast forward all the way through because in this time, fucking nothing happened. Hardly apart from
hang on, but you're sitting there saying that you think they took their foot off the gas. I think we got to grips with them a bit better.
Yeah, I think
we were still
one after dozen the other.
Yeah, we were still creating chances, and we wasn't clinical enough in front of goal. Yeah,
I think the problem we had in the first 20 minutes is we couldn't get our foot on the ball. Masuaku, Bowen, Souček, as Nicky said, Rice, they just couldn't get their foot on the ball, and they couldn't really get into the game. They couldn't settle. And any other day, we might have got through them first 20 minutes at 0-0 and then picked it up a bit. But you find yourself 3-0 down, and you look at yourself, you think to yourself, right, we've got to get into half time now. We can't go in 4 or 5-0 down. 3-0.
Yeah, that's right, man. No, I was going to say, I was saying to Nicky at the time when we was 3-0 down, I said there's always the chance that when being 3-0 up, there's that chance where you can get complacent and we'll be able to get into the game a little bit more. And as that's sort of how they came out the second half.
I'm laughing at Dan's shadow on the wall because the mouse moving on the shadow. Looks funny.
Everyone's putting on my shadow, but yeah, that's the thing. So it's a big danger when you're 3-0 up like that, coming out into the second half to come out with that same level of intensity. And that's not to take anything away from us, because we did seem to come out a little bit better in the second half, but we didn't at that until the substitutions came. We didn't look like scoring because we just the chances that were coming, we weren't doing anything with them. You know.
Yeah, you had that massive chance at the beginning with Fornells, who headed it over from 2 yards. And, you just, as we said, you just don't think it's going to be your day. I mean, if that goes in 3-1, you're thinking, oh, come on, we've got a whole half here. You know, it only takes. We've seen it before when we played Tottenham last season. We was 3-0 down. You get 2 goals back, they shit themselves. But not lucky, but lucky for Spurs last time they held on for the 3-2. It just shows a goal can change a game of football. If that goes to 4-0, it's game over. 3-1, there's a chance. You know, you're gonna. Yeah. The problem, I mean, Antonio has worked his socks off since lockdown, so I'm not going to sit here and slate him. He done a lot of running today, but I think that I wouldn't say he was poor, but it wasn't one of his best games. But he's still done a lot of running. Do you know what I think with Antonio is they kept putting him in the positions where he couldn't be dangerous. So he kept picking the ball up on the left hand side.
But you saw it at times. They was crowding him out. Got near that. Crowding him out.
They definitely would have had plans for that. That was probably a definitely big part of the game plan.
Then, one thing I've got to say is we never stopped playing. Our heads never went down. We never thought, oh, this is done and dusted. We never stopped playing. And then all of that time, the catalyst for this one, right? And I never thought I'd say this, it's the substitutes. Because when Lanzini and Yarmolenko come on, Yarmolenko is a more intelligent player than
what was it about the 72nd minute or something like that?
Well, he tried. I think he attempted to bring on. He started the process at like the 72nd minute, but the ball didn't go out of play for a while, so it ended up being like the 75th, 76th minute. But yeah, so he attempted to bring him on at the beginning of early in the 70s. So that was a shocker. Like we was like, wow, that must be a record. And
yeah, the problem. I mean, the turning point for us was when they brought Gareth Bale on, because he come on and the ego of the man, he comes on and straight away he stands over the free kick, and then he p-rolls it towards Fabianski, and he's jogging around the pitch. You know, he's just gone on there. They're 3-0 up. He's gone on there to get a little bit of match fitness. Jose's gone. Just go on there, get a couple of touches. Run around. This game's done.
Yeah, it was his not swan song. What's it? It was his introduction. It was his go on, get out there, get your applause, get your touches in and all of that sort of thing. And it was when Ndombele come off for me, because I thought he was running the midfield. He was fucking brilliant. And they too lightly. They fall to someone in the comments here is saying, I was saying in the live chat, God's honest truth, I was saying, who we got to change the game? We ain't got no one to change the game. Nobody. And I was wrong, because Lanzini come on and forgive me for this, because Lanzini for 2.5 years has been fucking rubbish, to be honest with you. But he came on and he changed the game. All of a sudden, he was getting his touches in. He looked like the Lanzini from old. He was getting his touches in. He was trying to take people on. They were scared of him. They was worried about him. Yarmolenko come on, give that little bit more calmness. That ball we put in for, I think it was Sufel who crossed it in for the second goal when he headed it down there. Antonio would have tried to take it on, but he gave you that. But they was worried about Lanzini. And I'll tell you what, they should have been fucking worried about him.
Well, we brought on Yarmolenko as well at the same time, didn't we? So it offered us something different, because we know what Yarmolenko can do. He gets it out wide, a bit like what they brought Gareth Bale on to do, really. Get the ball on, cut inside and have a strike. But I mean, the first goal, Balbrainer, great header. One thing that pissed me off with that is that no one rushed to get the ball out of the back of the net.
Yeah, I was surprised at that.
It was like a consolation goal. I mean, Ogbonna was the only one like screaming, saying, "Get the ball." I mean, and
I'm glad that Wayner got it though, because as well, like a lot of the blame for the first goal, so he's sort of come back and made good on it, and I think that will make him feel a lot better about things.
And it's a bloody good header as well. You know,
great
it was a good ball at the box, but he done really well when it was a bullet header. And
the second goal was a bit of play between Souček and Kufal.
Yep.
And he's just put it across the box, and Sanchez has knocked it in, and it's 3-2. 4 minutes to go. They're twitching.
I'm sitting there thinking if Fornals buries that chance earlier on, we're thinking, we would have had it. I still didn't see us going on to get the winner. If I'm honest,
that was the moment where it looked like we weren't getting. But I'd said to Nicky at the time with Fornals. And not to knock him overall as a player, but there's been so many chances like where he's missed like a big a sitter, basically.
Yeah, I was thinking the same. He has missed a lot of sitters, but on the flip side, at least he's in them positions.
Exactly.
So when it does come off, he will get more goals. It's
something he can work on, and improve on.
I mean, I think we should dedicate the rest of this show to this to Lanzini.
I think he looked so hungry as well when he came on. Lanzini, you could tell he wanted it and he believed that when he came on.
Do you know what I love? I love seeing players that we want to do well have their moment. And it couldn't have felt, if there was anyone I could have picked on the pitch to score that winner. But who come on, Lanzini. He's had a terrible time in the last couple of years, but today just sort of made up for all of that.
Do you know what? I swear on my life. Do you know when that went in? Do you know all I can think of in my head? Do you know the Wolf of Wall Street, right? when he starts shouting at the geezers, going, "I knew it's you, day."
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking about Spurs fans. Do
you know what? Right? He hit it. And do you know what? When I watch football at home, I'm not really one for celebrating. I just, you're on your own, you're in your out, you know what I mean? But when that went in, I fucking jumped up. So I kicked the glass over everything. Honestly. And you know what? I'm running around and I'm thinking, oh fuck, they're gonna go VAR or something.
Oh mate, if that could you know, I don't want to think about it, but that would have been fucking horrible.
I didn't notice it until after. When they analysed it, but Ogbonna, that could have been they could have given that as a foul on Winks. It wasn't, but VAR looked at that and found something. But I'm glad they didn't.
See now, we're saying how the substitutions were key in getting us back in the game. The Gareth Bale miss when he went through 3-2, right?
It's huge.
Yeah,
Yarmolenko defending that was the main reason he missed that. If you watch it back on the replays, Yarmolenko just gets an arm on him just as he's about to shoot and knocks him off balance, and that's why he drags it wide. And the fact that Yarmolenko's tracked back, he's not known for his tracking back, and he's in that position, that bit of defending there, just to knock him off balance at the right time, just as he's about to pull the trigger, that is what went on to then earn us the point.
If they were 3-0 up, that goes in. And that just rounds off their day, But as you said, Yarmolenko worked so hard. But did you hear the commentators? They thought it was in. They're screaming like it was Gareth Bale scored on his return, and
they wanted it so bad. When he came on, it was like, here he comes. Gareth Bale is arriving.
He just walked into the fucking stadium. Do you know what I mean? It was unbelievable. But that's what I'm saying. The commentator on my was going, Bale, and they thought it was in. Oh, he's missed it. And then all of a sudden, Lanzini was like, oh, what a strike that was.
Yeah.
Lanzini. And I'm
thinking, you know what? I love. Oh, go on. Sorry, mate. Go on.
Where's the same fucking energy for it all? You know what I mean? They love it, don't they? It's all about politics. You look on fucking. There's a game going on at the minute, right? I don't know who it's against. I can't remember, to be quite honest with you.
Villa and Leicester.
Leicester, innit? And Villa.
Right, Villa and Leicester. I guarantee you now, the top headline on Sky Sports ain't Villa and Leicester playing now. I bet it's Man United come back from so-and-so or Tottenham lose their lead.
They'll fit Bale in at some way. But I think what's so beautiful and poetic is that he came on and we scored 3 goals.
Yeah,
they were 3-0 up before he was on the 3-0.
Game changer, mate. That's the thing.
He turned the game for us. Gareth Bale. It's been a good day for us. We should celebrate Gareth Bale coming on.
Yeah, Gareth Bale Day. Happy Gareth Bale Day, everyone.
The thing is, right? The thing that makes it even better is you go on Twitter in the build up to this game, and Spurs' Twitter are showing all these goals that Spurs have scored in the last minute winners against us, late goals against us, and then previous to that, they're showing Gareth Bale training, smashing it in from 6 yards. With Joe Hart in goal, like in the build-up. Oh yeah, he looks sharp. He looks good. Didn't look that sharp tonight, did he?
Well, to be fair, somebody's told me about their Twitter. I went on their Twitter for about 2 days. They've just been posting winners against West Ham. They must have posted that Soltari one about 20 times in the last couple of days. You know what I mean? Like,
Nick, don't forget though,
these fucking cunts that have put in like. Excuse my language. You got all these people that are putting pictures of them carrying a West Ham coffin and Bale and Kane and Son. I bet they feel like right idiots now.
I tell you what was brilliant, though, Nick. Right, you remember this is in the live chat before, right? The Lanzini goal and the goal. It was so many Spurs fans giving it. As soon as that Lanzini goal went in, they fucking dispersed like cockroaches when you turn the lights on.
The amount of, if you look back at all the people
Spurs fans in when that own goal went in, they seemed to interfere there. It's like fucking Thanos snapped his fucking fingers, mate. They was gone.
But if you look at our Twitter, right, and look at all the new followers we were getting in the build up to this game, they were all Spurs fans.
Right.
On the thing, you fit principle, they're that confident. And this is the thing. Remember, this was our cup final. Yeah. They were posting videos of their goals against us. They're banging on about Gareth Bale. They were rubbing it in our faces because they were 3-0 up. But it's our cup final.
Do you know the one thing I love as well though when Lanzini scored was the celebrations. Even David Moyes. You see how much it meant to everyone. Even Antonio sitting on the bench with an ice pack on his knee 30 seconds later, and then he's up the touchline jumping over Lanzini. But it's just the pictures I've seen after, looking at people's faces, how much it meant to them. And just for that 30 seconds of us celebrating that goal, watching the celebrations, you just forget about all the negativity that's going on around the club. And that's why we love football. That is why you can't let these people at the top try to take over the game and ruin moments like that. I tweeted it out after. Imagine being in the away in that goal. I think we'd still be celebrating now.
Yep. Mate, can you imagine the fan cams afterwards and the buzz? And it's a real shame, and it can't take away from the enjoyment. But yeah, that would have been just it, wouldn't it? It would have been amazing.
That's the killer, isn't it? The fact that no one can be there. I put in the group, didn't I? Said about the fan cams. Fan cams would have been amazing after that. It's that's the only disappointment to all this. What's going on is we're all having to sit indoors and watch it.
But I know they'll try and say that, well, at least you didn't get to be there. I'm not going to let them take away that from us because it's still going to go down.
This will hurt them a lot. This will hurt a lot of their fans. I mean, as I said to you, the Tottenham fans were fucking non-stop texting me earlier. I ain't heard from them since. As I said, 1 tick. I'm looking at it now, still 1 ticks. I can't wait to look at them later and see 2 blue ticks. It's at half time. I don't think anyone would have seen that coming.
Oh, absolutely not. You watch our stream, mate. Our stream. Yeah. I was fucking cunting everywhere. You know what I'm like.
Yeah. I mean,
and I was telling her this is why we're fucking gonna foul. Yeah.
I see the bit where you were saying about everyone was having a pop at me on Friday night. No, but the thing is, I just want to clear something up because obviously I've seen you got a lot of stick and I got a bit of stick as well. It wasn't that we weren't in agreement. I agree we should have strengthened at the back. We should have strengthened up front and we should have strengthened midfield. But I think my thing was just about Diagana and Ben Rama, really. I agree that we should have strengthened at the back. As I said, Dawson weren't even on the bench today. And that's what I said. What a fully fit squad, he won't even get on the bench.
I honestly, I'm always been a glass half empty sort of guy. And you've always been a glass half full sort of guy. So You know?
Come
Well,
together.
if we mix it together, we get if we mix it together, we get a full glass.
Yeah.
The thing is, right, as much as, I'm still trying to work.
You know what? Someone tweeted me about that half time, and I said positive Pat's gone home, but she come running back to that stadium, mate. Don't worry about that.
When it was like 3-1, you're looking not believing it gets to 3-2, we're invested in it. But when at 3-2, what was in the back of my mind? I think it was at home when they was winning 3-2, and we was chasing the game, and we was on top, and we just didn't do it. We just came short, and that game was in the back of my mind, thinking.
I'm literally, the highlights are on now. I'm just watching it again. Kane's just scored his first goal.
Do you know what though? I would take. I said this after the game. If you would have said to me before, like, listen, you're going to be shit for 80 minutes. It's going to be agony, but you'll get an equaliser in the 90 odd minute. I would have took that all day long. I couldn't have gone better.
I mean, everyone was going mad about Spurs scoring 3 in the first 15. I think us scoring 3 in the last 8 minutes is even better.
Exactly, with Tottenham tonight as well.
With the pressure. Oh, look at it. Oh, 4-0, you fucker. How do you miss that?
I'll tell you what, right? I'm gonna say this. I've said it in a few fan cams. Me and you sat at Wembley one night, Ryan, and we watched Obiang fucking spank one in from about 40 yards. And I turned to you that day and I said to you, I'm never going to see a better goal than that at Tottenham. I'll tell you something now. That's a better goal. Because the pressure, the minute, the way he's cut across the ball is fucking phenomenal.
That's one moment there we didn't speak about when Harry Kane hit the post.
Yeah.
Could have got a corner.
I'll tell you what as well about that Lanzini goal. Look at, and I was watching this a few times. Look at Ogbonna and the way he shields Lanzini. He sort of stops Winks from getting in front of the ball.
See, I just think he's getting out of the way.
I don't know. You look at him; he's sort of holding him off. He's sort of holding him off there, and because you see, I think it's Winks trying to get in front, and he's sort of getting in between Winks and the ball, and then it gives Lanzini clear run to just go and smash it. And he gets a little touch to it, but there's nothing he can do about that keeper.
Well, the thing that made me laugh is Souness was trying to say Lloris should have saved it, and he's going on about he's diving across and he's gone with his other hand.
Oh, fuck off!
That's the thing, right? Now the way Lloris dives across, if he puts his left arm up, he ain't saving it. With his right arm, with the momentum he's got a chance of saving it. That's why he goes with it. Souness just makes me laugh sometimes. So some comments he comes out with, and you think, bang on, you're right there. He criticised Balbuena for defending for the first goal, and he was bang on. But I think
Lanzini's goal looks better in slow motion. I thought they were showing Moyes running in slow motion then, but they're not. They're actually showing it.
No, Souness is a dinosaur. He honestly is.
Everything goal in his life because no one would have saved that. That was right in the corner. He got an hand to it and pushed it into the post and in the bar. No keeper would have got to that.
Exactly, mate. I totally agree. There ain't a keeper would have saved that. There is not a keeper that would have saved that.
He's lined that up at the front post and he's cut across it and he's gone in the far corner. There's nobody in the world could save that. Nobody.
Yeah. Totally agree, mate. Totally agree.
The big question is the big question now going into the Man City game. Do you change the starting lineup?
I think you have to.
Because I think you've got to look at it defensively as well.
Yeah, defensively, I think Diop comes back in. I think Diop should have started this one just because he's got more. Listen, Balbuena's done brilliantly, but he's just, I'm not a big fan of changing a winning side. I said this the other night. If he'd have changed him, I wouldn't have made too much complaints. But he's got athleticism. I think the way he sort of like got beat for pace and then showed him on the inside was terrible. I think Diop comes back in, if I'm honest. I think left wing, I thought Fornells was quite poor tonight.
Really?
Yeah, I did. I thought he was quite poor. I thought he just took one touch too many at times when he could have released the ball earlier. Yeah. Maybe I was looking at the early chances and I got so pissed off that I didn't realise the good stuff that he done. But I just thought Fornells wasn't great. I
thought he was one of our most liveliest players, to be honest, mate.
No.
But
I think Nicky was right, and I think he was, and I think that was sort of. We saw that a lot in the team as a whole. Like against Leicester team, we moved the ball around a lot more smoothly, a lot more quickly. we was a little bit slower, and Fornals did get caught out quite a bit, just holding onto the ball too long, not looking up, not looking for people, and that was a weakness, I think.
I don't think Ben Rama starts.
I'll be honest. I think with Ben Rama, it'll be a lot like we saw with Bowen. He'll bring him in slowly. Bowen we didn't see for the first couple of games he was there. He brought him in gradually, and I think you'll see the same with Ben Rama. I personally, I don't think Fornals played that badly, and he deserves to start. Balbuena was poor in that first half, but there weren't many people that were any good. So for me, he doesn't start. For me, he starts against City because Diop is just as prone to the same mistakes Balbuena makes. The only difference is Diop's a bit quicker.
Thing is, I know we've got obviously City coming up. You remember after the Arsenal game when we lost and we looked at that run of fixtures. I mean, if you would have said Wolves, Leicester, and Spurs were going to get 7 points out of them games, I don't think anyone would have thought that at that time.
We should have had that against Arsenal.
Yeah, and
we should have had that against Arsenal. I think we put Arsenal to the sword. I know we got Man City, but it's the Liverpool game. I know this is going to sound crazy, but it's the Liverpool game I'm more looking forward to because I think with the goalkeeper situation, and we all love Adrian and all of that sort of thing.
He's having a hard time.
He's not Alisson, is he? And them losing Van Dijk, you see it on Sunday. The way they struggled with Calvert-Lewin, the way they struggled with his physicality, with him in the air and all that. Antonio could run and riot there. Next week. So that's the one for me I would be targeting. But Man City haven't been unbeatable this league.
I watched Man City yesterday against Arsenal, and to be fair, they weren't great. I mean, and it's a game that the confidence we've got from today. You take that into the next game, and these are the games that look. You play in the Premier League, you play at the top level to play in these games. You want to play against the Cities, the Arsenals, the Liverpools. That's what you become a football player. You want to play in these games, and we've got so many. Even we'll have if Ben Rama makes the bench, we've got a hungry Ben Rama that'll want to come on and prove himself. Yeah. So it's good things to have, but then
and it's not us getting carried away because these games we could get smashed, but those little weaknesses in those teams means they're not games you can discount or write off. We have every chance to go and get something from those games. We can have our heads up.
Their weaknesses are our strengths.
Yeah, I'm more worried about City than I am Liverpool. I was messaging Jason beforehand, and I said to him, I'm more worried of the City game because eventually City will click, and we've not put a performance in against City for a long time. And Liverpool.
But Scott, we never put a performance in against Wolves for a long time. Leicester for a long time.
I know, but I just think City. At one point, City's going to click. And they worry me a lot more than what Liverpool do. I think we can get at Liverpool a lot more than what we can get at City. But that's me saying that now. I come closer to the game when I do the
preview. Yeah, when we're 5-0 down after 6 minutes.
Yeah, we'll come back and draw 5-5, mate.
Yeah. I'm not too far forward in football, but if we even pick up another point after today, we've got them Fulham and Sheffield United. And I'll be honest with you, I watched that game today. They were two awful teams.
Yeah, Sheffield United have really, they're suffering second season syndrome, isn't they? Like, they're bottom of the league, 1 point.
There's a chance to pick up 6 points there. And we could set ourselves up for a good season. As I said before, we've got a lovely team.
And if we come out of it like getting 0 points out of them 2 games, still we have done really well.
Oh yeah.
The points we've got, and that puts us in a good position when we've got the likes of the Fulham and teams like that coming up.
That's the thing now is the case we got. We got the 7 points that we've got. 3 off Leicester, 3 off Wolves, and the 1 tonight. If we get beat by City and Liverpool, it's not the end of the world. But it's then how we pick ourselves up and approach the Fulham and Sheffield United games. Because at the end of the day, we looked at this run of fixtures and we were thinking if we get any points out of them 6 games, the Arsenal, Leicester, Tottenham, Wolves, City and Liverpool, it's a bonus. We've got to target these. We've seen back-to-back performances in the league from the Arsenal game to now. Right, first half wasn't great, but second half we put a better performance in. Them performances we need to put in against Fulham and Sheffield United because at the end of the day, I look at these 7 points as a season as a whole. These are 7 bonus points because the Fulhams, the Sheffield United, teams like that, they're the teams you've got to identify. Right, that's 3 points. That's 3 points. You know, it's these 7 are bonus. If we get anything out of the next 2, they're bonus. We need to beat Fulham, Sheffield United, and the likes of that because that is, as I said before, that's our level.
After 5 games last year, we were in a very similar position and we fucked it up big time. So let's just take it.
Yeah, we just need a bit of luck with injuries as well going forward because, as you said, we've got a good starting lineup and we've got a good bench as well because you look, you got Haller to come back on that bench. You got Ben Rama. That means that 2 people on there today will have to be dropped out.
We've got an attacking bench. That's what it's building.
And you heard of this new bloke we got called Dawson. Fucking mate.
I see Ginger Pelle on the telly yesterday, mate. I hope that he shuts me up and he.
Cool. Did you watch Soccer AM yesterday?
Yeah,
I'll tell you what. After watching that and watching Know the Drill, I think I'd rather have had Ginger Pelle out front instead of Colton Cole. Fucking hell,
it was horrendous. I see the clip,
mate. He's a funny bloke, I tell you.
I love him, but
you can't hate Colton Cole.
Not a good look. For 2 years, because I'm telling you what, I've never seen Shanks like it. I ain't seen Shanks like it since I went fucking Alexandra Palace once.
Shanks and Bigfoot.
Nah, we're really just going to enjoy this now and milk this, and it does. The way the game went, it feels like a win. And
I didn't see post-match pipe.
I love shoving out their ass. I said this a couple of weeks ago. I love shoving out their ass.
Oh yeah, because they love giving it to us as well.
I'll tell you now. If you go back, right? I said this to my mate Flav the other day. I enjoy reading their forum when things like this happen. You go on their forum and it'd be like, oh, these are going to fold. These are going to fucking fold like a packet of crisps now, and all this sort of thing. And I'll tell you what, at the end of it all, it began, it's their fucking cup final anyway. It's their fucking, I don't care about it. This game means no more to me than Fulham and all of that sort of shit. They're a load of bollocks. They talk the biggest load of bollocks I've ever seen. Yeah. They're the worst fans in this league by a fucking country mile.
Their forums, they act like it's their cup final more than ours.
Absolutely.
They say they are more bothered about us than we are of them, and they think it's the other way around. It's not.
They set themselves up.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we're not expected to beat them.
We weren't tweeting out these meme pictures, were we?
There's no way we should be beating them on paper. They beat us every time, but they don't. And posting pictures and memes of Bell and all that, carrying a coffin, West Ham coffin and all that. They've just mugged themselves off again, and that's the worst thing about them, and the greatest thing about them is because you don't have to work hard to get any material to fucking shove down their throat. They do it themselves.
Yeah, that's it, and that's why this is the thing. This is why I think a lot of West Ham fans love beating Spurs is because the way their fans bang on about it. You know, and like you said, they do set themselves up. I've got Spurs fans in work, right, and I could not, because they work in a different department, I could not see them for months. But if Spurs beat us, they make sure they come down to where my office is just to come and say something.
I'm feeling another Scott Spurs rant coming on like PMP a few weeks ago.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's why they wind me up. I said I've worked with Spurs fans. I've got a few Spurs fans, and mate, I get on really well with them. But you know the Spurs fans you can sit and chat football with. And then you know the Spurs fans who are just deluded. And unfortunately, there is a lot more Spurs fans who are deluded than there is who can talk about football.
Yeah. That's it.
I bet there's a lot of drafts in Twitter that didn't get sent out because I bet they were sitting there like I can't wait to tweet this out full time and then delete.
Honestly, I cannot wait to get on social media and see all the different things that people are going to be sharing or things Spurs fans said before the game or during the game and seeing.
I'll tell you what, if you want to see something funny, go and watch Expressions when we equalise.
We are Tottenham TV. That's the other one.
That was a good. I see that someone sent me that earlier. That was a good one. But yeah, Expressions one was fucking funny. But yeah, look, we enjoy these moments and why we love football. You can go through so many emotions in 90 minutes. You know, we're sitting there 3-0 down all thinking, oh, for fuck, you know what I mean? We're shit. And then you end up somehow getting a point out of that game. But as I said, after the first 16 minutes, I didn't think we played that bad. I honestly didn't. I think we was in the game.
After that, but I just didn't think. Like, if that game would have started then, I think it would have been it had 0-0 written all over it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Take out the first 15 and take out the last 10. It's 0-0, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm just glad that they didn't win, because it'd have all been Gareth Bale's comeback and all this. And you see him, even when he's sitting on the bench, the cameras are just focusing on him all the time. Like, as you said, he played in the Premier League 7 years ago. It's a different league now. I'll be very surprised if he gets more than 10 goals this season.
Yeah.
I'll be very surprised if he does.
And that's the thing. That when you look at that from like their point of view, you know, banging on about him, it takes a lot of the emphasis off of how good Son was today and how good he is as a player. You know, that's the thing. It's a bit detrimental to the players that they've already got, because on form, Son's a better player on form at the moment than Gareth Bale. Gareth Bale's not played for a long time. Gareth Bale was a class talent, but he goes missing in games. Son doesn't really go missing. He's a lot more consistent. You know,
where it carries on like that, Scott, he'll go missing on the golf course soon.
You know, and that's what he said. You know, Spurs have got some really good attacking players, and you saw that tonight. You've got to admire the qualities in Kane and Son, the link-up play between them. You can't take that away from them. But, you know, as we said, defensively, they're not great. And
when we were 3-0 down, though, I was thinking to myself, post-match Pint, Nicky's going to be right angry, smashing things up. I thought, fucking hell. And then when we got back to 3-1, I thought, it don't look too bad now. 3-2, I thought, when we went 3-0, I thought, Nicky's going to be so happy.
What's that?
We bring on Bale, West Ham bring on Lanzini, crying laughter emojis.
That's what I'm saying, mate.
Is that the guy that then tweeted underneath it going, yeah, this ain't age well?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
That is what we love to see.
Right, anything else, boys?
I think we're just going to enjoy the rest of the evening.
I think, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. It's 8:25.
Go back and watch the fan cams, and go back and watch the watch along, because that was a ride. And I might just clip up some of the moments on it, and you can see me and Nicky go from fuming, raging, depressed to ecstasy.
Put some timestamps on it, Dan, and then they can.
Right. But
yeah,
I'm gonna pull up one thing though, right? Nicky's out of this, but this is post-match Pint, and I'm the only one with a pint.
Yeah, I know that, Scott.
Right, so you know,
but
beers.
Yeah, but I agree with you, but at the moment I'm on water, unfortunately. But next week I'll be back on the beer.
Put it in a pint glass.
Next week I'll be back on the beer. Look. Other branded waters are available. Sorry.
No, I'll make sure I have a beer next week. I'll tell you
what, Scott. Right, on Friday night Pint, I'm going to get right on it. In fact, I'm going to have some shots as well. What the fucking hell was that? What's that? Jack Sparrow's rum in it?
Old Brigand Barbados rum.
I'll tell you what.
Well done, son.
I'm going to leave you one quote that's come from Expressions channel. This is from our mate Tim Cumming.
Mwah.
Right, thank you very much. As I said before, if you want to join us on Patreon, go and join us on the Patreon. Link in the description down below. Ain't nobody like Lanzini t-shirts are still available. Thank you so much for coming along and making this a fantastic post-match Pint. There's over 1,000 of you watching. We grow every week. If you're new around here, please hit the subscription button, notification button. You'll be up to date with all the content that we've got coming out. Patrons get extra content. We're going to get back to that next week. And I've lost my job again, so there's I've got to sort things out that way. Otherwise, my future wife's going to fucking murder me, I think. So yeah, there's going to be more coming on the Patreon and everything else. I'll sort all that out this week. But you can join us on that. It also goes back into supporting the channel. Thank you so much for watching this edition of West Ham Fan TV's post-match pint. One thing left to say.
Come on, you Irons.
Come on, you Irons.
Come on, you Irons. It's happening again.
You're a foul day.